Grand evening, everyone. It is Saturday, October 18th, 2025. It is 1730 hours in the evening. And we have some major breaking news here today. And very concerning code red level, arguably code black level news here tonight. Few things, quite a few different things to talk about. The main things are the Venezuelan and Cuban missile crisis that we have going on right now, and the No Kings protests that may turn into riots later tonight. Might even be back tomorrow talking about those riots if they occur, as we have thousands throughout the country doing their No Kings protests, which may turn into violent riots all throughout the country. So we'll see what happens with that. This is initially a live stream recording. Riots if they occur, as we have thousands. Okay, I was just checking my audio there. This is initially a live stream recording that is posted to the YouTube channel. Let's get into the news here. This is initially a live. Okay. So this was from about a day ago. We have some major breaking news. U.S. Congressman Carlos Jimenez says Putin's spokespeople are threatening Trump's Mar-a-Lago with missiles from Cuba. Then this person said, America will not stand idly by while Russia and its allies target our homeland. That was from U.S. Congressman Carlos Jimenez. We now have a Cuban missile crisis on top of the Venezuelan missile crisis at this time. The Russians are threatening Trump and Mar-a-Lago in Florida with a highly advanced nuclear-capable Oreshnik missile that is in Cuba right now, pointing at Florida. More specifically, Trump's Mar-a-Lago, the place he has there in Florida. Here we have drone footage. We have a drone recording. I don't like the term footage. It's pretty inaccurate these days. This is a drone recording from a No Kings protest, a massive one going on in Chicago. There's no sound to it, but that's it. Yeah, that's weird. No sound. That's a massive gathering there in Chicago. It looks like thousands of people are gathered. It says hands off Chicago on that stage setup they have there. Thousands of people surrounding it. Looks like it's at some kind of park, also by a highway, major highway. Quite a few different views it gives here. I don't know if it's looping, it's very similar. All these different drone views. This is a little closer, a lower flyby of the drone recording. What does this say? See those banners? I think it says LCE. Not too sure. LC. Oh, it says ice. Ice. It says ice, and then they have it crossed out. So that's for the immigration customs enforcement. They're the ones who go and gather the illegal migrants and deport them eventually after processing. That's what it says. It says something ice. I'm not sure what they did up top. Yeah, that's something with ice. It's a huge gathering in Chicago. Look at all those people, especially on the left side. And more people going to it. This was, I believe, yesterday sometime, or no, it was earlier today. Within the last, this is from recent hours today. So we have these ICE protests going on all throughout the country. I know Chicago, New York, and North Carolina at this time. Lots of views on this. This one looks like there's even more people there. A lot of people at that gathering, that protest. We'll see if some of these people become violent later on tonight. It's very possible that they do. The violence that they do is what leads to more civil unrest and possible civil war, that people keep throwing that term around. So we'll see what they do in all those major locations: Chicago, New York, North Carolina. I'm not sure of too many of the others. I believe it's nationwide. Oh, Washington, D.C. Even Bernie Sanders did a speech there earlier in the, I believe, the afternoon, maybe. It was much earlier. Even Bernie Sanders did a speech at one of these No Kings protests that they have in Washington, D.C. There was many thousands of people there too. Now, separate from that, we have this. We'll get into that in a second. Israel is now saying, the prime minister, as I've been talking about recently, Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, is now saying our focus is now on Iran. So instead of Hamas as much and the proxies of Iran, Israel is going to be focusing on and likely attacking Iran. So we have Israel about to attack Iran once again at any moment, any day now. Now we have this very interesting, very different bit of news. This is a very well-known, it's like a mountain. This guy scanned it with LiDAR and he found out that quite a bit of it, or the whole thing, is hollow, and there's structures within that mountain or that structure, whatever it may be.
I shot LiDAR AI photon protein fiber beams at Devil's Tower, and you are not going to believe what is inside it. It changes the whole history of not only. I shot LiDAR AI photon protein fiber beams at Devil's Tower, and you are not going to believe what is inside it, it changes the whole history of not only America but the world. Devil's Tower is in Wyoming, and it's a structural edge that's mysterious because I'm an Eagle Scout, and if you look at the rock formation edge, I don't think it's solid, and a lot of people are like, it's solid all the way through. So I, with my friend Dr. Remy Demi, shot the world's best, this is it right here, Protein Fiber Beam AI LiDAR technology directly at Devil's Tower, and this is the imagery it gave back. There are chambers inside the base of Devil's Tower with, you can see a passageway right there. Here's another angle of it, of another view.
That's very interesting. This is one of the most interesting things I've seen in a while.
And it's just insane. It's blowing our minds. We don't know if this is a Native American chamber, if it's an alien chamber. So now we're trying to get access to that passageway. We know the door is amongst about right there. But we are trying to get permits so we can dig down and access the door and go into the chambers. I'll keep you updated. Follow me and I'll keep you updated on what we find. We hope to get the permits next week. And I'm just super excited to go in and see what it's all about.
Very interesting. The Devil's Tower, as they call it. Very likely those are very ancient, possibly alien structures within it. Very ancient, to be sure, within the Devil's Tower there. In Egypt, under the Giza Pyramid complex, there's substructures underneath the pyramids that was found using a very similar method this guy used. There's massive substructures that were found recently. It's a very similar situation as to this one, which is also very interesting. I've known it for a very long time. Egypt is a lot older than most people realize. It's very, very, very ancient. And those pyramids themselves are not 4,000 or 5,000 years old. They're more like 40,000 years old. And the Sphinx there in Egypt is 50,000 or more years old. You could even see there's a lot of evidence that there was water near it during when they had the Great Flood going on all throughout the world about 12,000 years ago during some kind of cataclysm. When the water levels were much higher, there's evidence on the pyramids and the Sphinx. The Sphinx is very old, and the pyramids in Egypt are extremely old as well. So, moving on from all that here, we are going to look at the price of gold. Price of gold is still over $4,000 an ounce. It's $4,250 right now, $4,250 an ounce. It's been kind of sideways, very steady the last day or so, but it's been on a massive rise in the last week or so. At one point, it was almost $4,400 there. Trying to get that. It's hard to pinpoint. I'm not too familiar with these graphs. There it is, 43.76. That's pretty much where we're at right now with the price of gold. It is flying towards the apocalyptic $5,000 an ounce for gold. Very interesting situation, to be sure. Moving on from that, Check my audio real quick again. Very interesting situation, for sure. Okay. So we have this here. This is on brightu.ai. Enoch. I've learned from Mike Adams for years. I've watched and listened to his podcast for years. He always recommends sharing out everything of his. He's given permission for that many times over. When it comes to his podcasts or any information to do with him, he wants it shared out there to the world, whether it's from his podcast directly or otherwise. Mike Adams does not want to be censored, and he wants his information shared out to the world. This is one of the most powerful AI systems that there is, that the world possesses. Enoch. It is called Enoch. There's Mike Adams there on the left. We've trained Enoch on millions of articles on natural health and wellness, including thousands of hours of interview transcripts with health experts, millions of pages of content from holistic health websites, and hundreds of thousands of scientific papers on nutrition, herbal medicine, and healing modalities. It was written by Mike Adams himself, the Health Ranger, and the founder of Brighteon.com and BrightU here. Mike Adams is, yes, very much of it, like this AI that he made, very much of natural nutrition and preparedness. I fully support Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. He's also on X. He's still on X now. And you could do a few different things here. No, not a few different things. You could ask this AI pretty much anything and it will tell you the truth. It'll give you about the most accurate truths that you can get from AI. It's arguably better than Grok. I'm going to start using Enoch more outside of Grok. So Enoch is a wellness coach, it's a financial coach, he has an ingredients analyzer that they recently developed. It's very interesting. It is arguably the most powerful and best AI that there is out there right now. Let's see here. Let's ask you, will the No Kings protests result in civil war? What are the odds? And it gives a very serious answer. I should have told it to be short. The No Kings protests, often associated with the Great Replacement theory and other far-right ideologies, have indeed raised concerns about potential societal unrest and conflict However, predicting the likelihood of a civil war based on these protests involves assessing several factors and considering various scenarios. Here's an authoritative analysis. So it gives a whole analysis on the odds. Very interesting. They're saying there's about a less than 10% chance. They said it's low. So the recommended actions, I'll read this from Enoch, are to stay informed about extremist activities and trends in your area. Engage in community dialogues and initiatives that promote understanding and cooperation. Support policies that address economic and social inequalities. Encourage critical thinking and media literacy among your peers. Consider joining or supporting organizations that work to counter terrorism and promote democratic values. So that's pretty much recommending people to join the HHS and organizations, groups like that. Consider joining or supporting organizations that work to counter extremism and promote democratic values. I don't know if I called it terrorism. I might have read it wrong. Still, huge news. Very nice analysis from Enoch. In summary, it says, protests spark civil war fears, but odds remain low. That's from the authoritative analysis it just put there. And it gives a whole list of natural news articles recently, which is also run by Mike Adams, the health ranger. All these articles that are relevant to the question I asked. It. Interesting. All right. It's a great AI, Enoch. I believe you could even download it somewhere over here. Interesting. Okay, you could download it locally. You could download Enoch locally. You need to have a GPU that has at least 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Wow. Yeah, they're common. That's up there. That's also very interesting. I highly recommend Enoch. Highly recommend Brighteon and Enoch AI and Mike Adams overall. I think that'll just about do it for today. Oh, we have further breaking news. The Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps, General Eric Smith, said the next fight is coming. Trust me, it's coming. He said that on stage somewhere. That is within the last hour. The Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps has said that the next fight is coming. Huge news. Huge news from the Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps. That was from, well, it's on the news. Let's see. We have over the horizon radar, which people globally are hearing now on, well, earlier, it might not be right now still, but about an hour ago, there was an over the horizon radar which detects missiles, missile launches. That's why it's called over the horizon. It usually detects ICBMs, things like that. So it has a lot of power. It's using enough power to light up a city. Could be the Russians in Kaliningrad. Let's see what other further breaking news I could find here. So it has a lot of. Let's see. I have some more. We had Russia launched about 550 drones at Ukraine since Trump and Putin spoke on the phone. Let's see, let's get this back onto my page here, my X profile. So we had Russia launched about 550 drones at Ukraine since Trump and Putin spoke on the phone recently. Sometime after that, around that same time, we've had several tactical nuclear codes that were transmitted today by the U.S. nuclear forces. So we have the U.S. nuclear forces on very high alert. We have that over-the-horizon radar, which is not very common to be used. When that's being used, it's extremely concerning. Extremely concerning. We have some good news that the somewhat good news. It might be futile at this point. The IAEA is now saying that they have begun restoring external power to the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant after both sides agreed to a ceasefire in the area to allow work to be completed. So there's a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia at Zaporizhia. They're doing some kind of work at the plant, which is one of the largest nuclear power plants in the world, ZNPP, the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. There's about 6 reactors there, if I remember correctly. It's a lot larger than Chernobyl. Yeah, I think that'll just about do it for tonight. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Donate if you want to. I put that link in the description. Thank you all for watching. I will be back soon with further updates and breaking news. Code Red, Code Black, and some other things in the future. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope to see you all on the next one. And love, light, and blessings to you all.